Hello everyone. Today I'm going to explain my cybersecurity awareness bot project. This is a console-based project. This is a console-based chatbot written in C# that helps users learn about online safety. The bot responds to questions about passwords, phishing attacks, and safe browsing. I've also added audio features of my own recorded voice. Here on our right, we have the project structure. I have program class, which is the entry point that starts everything. I have chatbot class that manages the conversation loop. I have greetings manager class that handles welcome messages and username input. I have response engine class that contains all the bot's knowledge and responses. Input validator checks if the user is valid. The logo displays the ASCII logo, and I've embedded an audio file, my recorded voice greeting, which is this new recording file, new recording 4.wav. We're gonna start with program. First, I added several statements using system.media for playing sound. This over here. System.io for file operation and system.reflection for accessing embedded resources. Inside the main method, the first thing I do is call a method called play embedded sound. The method plays my recorded voice greeting. Here's how it works. The audio file is set as an embedded resource. Is set as an embedded resource in project properties over here, which means it gets compiled directly into the exe file. This is great because I only need to distribute one file. After the sound plays, I call greeting manager.user get user name method to ask the user for their name. And this returns a validated name string. Then I display a welcome banner over here. This is the method that calls it. Then I display a welcome banner and finally create a chatbot object and call its start method to begin the conversation over here. Then we're going to go to greetings manager. This file handles all the functionality, the welcome functionality. The get username method is responsible for asking the user for their name and validating it. Notice I removed the AI text. No, it is a text-to-base. The display welcome banner method is where I show the fancy AIIC arts. I clear the console first, then use a colored text to display the cyber logo. I created helper methods called the C method for setting colors and R method for resetting. The logo is drawn using special box drawing characters. I also personalized it with the user's name and added helpful command instructions. The thread .sleep 800 in parentheses creates a small pause so the user can read the banner before continuing. Now we're going to go to input validator. This is simple but a very important file. It contains two static methods that can be called without creating an object. This is valid input method does one simple thing. It checks if the string is null, empty, or just white space. It returns true if the input is good, false if it's bad. The default response method provides a fallback message when the user types something the bot doesn't understand. Notice it has an option username parameter. When the username types something the bot doesn't understand, if a name is provided, it personalizes the response. If not, it gives a generic message. This validation prevents the bots from crashing when users just press enter or type nothing. Now we're going to response engine. Response engine is the brain of the chatbot. The constructor takes the username parameter and stores it so the bot can personalize responses. The main method here is getResponse method. To check for keywords, this is simple but effective. Let me walk you through the steps. First, if the user asks, "How are you?" the bot responds enthusiastically. If they ask about the bot's purpose, it explains it here educates about cybersecurity. If they type help or ask what they can ask, it shows a list of available topics. For password-related questions, it gives specific tips about strong passwords, not reusing them, using password managers, enabling two-factor authentication, and never sharing passwords. For phishing questions, it explains what phishing is, gives warning signs to look for. For safe browsing questions, it covers HTTP, public Wi-Fi risk, keeping software updated, using antivirus, and avoiding untrusted downloads. If none of these keywords match, the method returns null. This null is caught by the chatbot class, which then uses the input validator's default response instead. The design makes it easy to add new topics. I just add another if statement with new keyword. Now let's go to chatbot. Chatbot orchestrates the entire conversation. Let me explain how it works. The class has two private fields, username and response engine. The constructor initializes these when a new chatbot is created. The start method contains an infinite loop. This keeps the conversation going until the user decides to exit. If the user is valid, I convert it to lowercase and trim whitespace. This makes keyword matching case insensitive. Then I check for exit commands. If the user types exit, quit, or buy, I display a goodbye message and break out of the loop. For regular messages, I call response engine and dot get response method to get an answer. If the response is null, meaning no topic matched, I use the default response from invalid from input validator. Finally, the print bot response method displays the bot's message in green text with cyberbot prefix. Then it's a blank line for readability. The while loop continues forever until the user explicitly exits. This creates a seamless conversation experience. Let's go to logo. Logo is simple but adds visual appeal. It contains a static method called showLogo. When called, it clears the console, sets the foreground color to cyan, and writes out a large ASCII logo using the write-line method. The @ symbol before string allows me to use multiple lines without escaping characters. The logo spells out cyberbot using block characters, then shows the bot's name and purpose. After displaying the logo, it resets the console color, and pauses for a few seconds using thread sleep, so the user can appreciate the logo before exiting the program. Or before continuing with the program. While this method exits in the project, I'm actually calling the welcome banner from the greeting manager instead. The logo could be used as an alternative splash screen. Now let's go to the audio system. The audio system, I have recorded a file called newrecording4.wav that contains my recorded voice greeting. In the project file, you can see it's marked as embedded resource here. This is crucial because it tells the compiler to include the audio inside the executable. The play method is asynchronous, meaning the sound plays in the background while the program continues. This is perfect because the user doesn't have to wait for the sound to finish before typing their name. How all the pieces fit together. Let me show you how everything connects. The user runs the program. My recorded voice plays automatically. The greeting manager asks for and validates the user's name. The welcome banner displays the ACII odds, which is this one. A new chatbot object is created with the user's name. The user types questions. The response engine finds matching keywords. The keyboard responds with cybersecurity tips. This continues until the user types exit. Let me show you the bot in action. I'm quickly going to run it now.
Welcome to the Cybersecurity Awareness Bot.
Welcome to the
Please enter your name.
Cybersecurity Awareness Bot. I'm here to help you stay safe online.
Hello MJ. Welcome to the Cybersecurity Awareness Bot.
Now, if I type something that is not prompted into my chatbot, it will give me a different answer. See here? You see? It says, I didn't quite understand that. Could you please rephrase? And it asked me again about the password safety, phishing, safe browsing, also type help, because I've programmed the chatbot to ask specifically about the cybersecurity awareness. So now I want to exit. This is how I can exit. I can either say goodbye or quit or exit, whichever you want to use.
Goodbye MJ. Stay safe online.
So now, since I'm done, I can press any key to exit my code. And here's how everything works. Thank you so much.